Up, What Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and I'm sorry this is late, but today's anime Nerdigan review is going to be on Sailor Moon Crystal, episode 36, aka Act 35, Infinity 9. And for those Nerdigans that don't know how my reviews for Sailor Moon Crystal have been, how I've been doing it is I've been reading the manga. I have the manga right in front of me while I'm watching the anime, and it takes me I think it takes me like an hour, sometimes an hour and a half to watch an episode of Sailor Moon Crystal because I want to double check and make sure that it's correct. And the reason behind this is because Sailor Moon Crystal is supposed to be a direct adaptation of the Sailor Moon manga. It's not like the Sailor Moon of the 90s. It's not like that. No, this is a direct adaptation. So, okay, so let's get to this. Something that I'm glad that Toei and Viz Media are doing is, again, I'm glad they're doing the chapter per episode, but I'm just getting fucking annoyed that they're cutting so much important stuff out. Like, at the start of the episode, it starts off at the end of Act 34, and they fixed the end of Act 34 was actually pretty perfect. The only thing that was missing, though, was Chibiusa, because at the end of Act 34, Chibiusa is glowing, and Mama-chan's like, what the fuck is going on? That was missing still. I was like thinking, what the hell? But then, like, the first part of it, like the first couple of minutes, it was so perfect. The animation, this whole episode, I gotta say, the animation was so beautiful. Oh my, Kami and Arceus, I was in love with the animation this episode, especially when we had the glowing going on around Mistress 9 and Chibiusa and Hotaru. I thought that was so freaking beautiful. The only thing that I wasn't sure about, I don't know what you Nerdigans thought. Like, I thought it was weird that that Mistress 9 and Chibiusa's glow was like rainbow, while, like, I understand why Hotaru's was white. Like, that made sense to me. But, like, I felt like the glow for Mistress 9 and Chibiusa, it shouldn't have been rainbow. It should have been in, like, a more... I think they were just doing it to contrast with the background. But it should have been a, like, more sinister-looking color. I would have liked to see purple, but I think it would have blended too much in the background, and that's why they didn't go with that. That would have been freaking badass, especially for Mistress 9, because she's already in purple. It would have been so cool to have like a bright violet. That would have been awesome. But anyway, and as I said, I love seeing the badum. Basically, that's how it was written in the manga. I love seeing the badum of Mistress 9 when she's going through the power transformation kind of thing. I loved it. But something that I gotta start off with this. So something that pissed me off is they basically cut out Pharaoh 90's monologue. They gave, like, basically the last part of Mistress 9 instead. So the full inner monologue and like, this is, they cut it down in the anime, fine, but I like the manga's version better. It says, power, she said, power, my body is filling up with so much, my insides are overflowing with the power I've taken in. And the next line is the line they gave Pharaoh 90. This is the power of the silver crystal. Like, why the fuck? Like, they skipped the whole monologue, and or a good chunk of the monologue, and this is what, they skipped. This is the full stuff from Pharaoh 90 that they skipped, and that really bothered me. He said, Pharaoh 90 says, I can feel that power. Its light is just like like that of the crystal of the light, crystal of life, the Teoran crystal. That is something that really pisses me off about this anime. They've said it before. I think they said it in a couple of episodes. They mentioned that the Teoran crystal was the crystal of life, but why aren't you mentioning that it is the crystal of life? You're supposed to, just in case the viewer forgot. God. And then he's like having like a freaking orgasm. And then he says Mistress 9 has been fully liberated, and cue the thunder, which we didn't get any fucking thunder until the end, like near the end of the episode. I was like thinking, Viz, Toei, are you guys just lazy? Like, come on, man. And then he says liberated by the power of the silver crystal. And then instead they cut Pharaoh 90's line to this, and I got pissed the fuck off. They said the power of the Teoran crystal is nowhere near as good as that. Really? Really? You're just gonna say that shit? You're not gonna say anything about how it's like the Teoran crystal? But this is the full Pharaoh 90 quote, that another one that was skipped as well. And he says, what a brilliant glimmer, and then he's like having a freaking orgasm. And this energy is more powerful than thousands of human souls combined. Why did you leave that shit out? God, I can't stand when they leave details like this out. It applies for mythology too, and that's why I get pissed. Because I like knowing more background about the villains. Because basically what they've done in Sailor Moon Crystal is they made the villains take themselves like way too seriously when there's another side to them. Because in this arc, just like the it kind of is like the Dark Moon arc, the Dark Moon arc, or not the Black Moon arc, where there was like another side to them as villains, and they did it really well last season. I'm not gonna lie, but they didn't do it in this season, and it's really annoying that they didn't do it because Pharaoh, they have a purpose, and it just wasn't explained very well. It was explained in the manga like beautifully, but like it didn't translate into the anime like it should have. It just bothered me. Okay, and then he says this. What an inexhaustible power. The time for me to be filled with power has come. I will make this world into our second home planet. Now is the time for my own utilization to begin. I don't know if it's a translation error on Hulu's part, but they said vessellation. I don't know if Crunchyroll said the same thing. Please let me know if you are watching it on Crunchyroll. But, I'm not going to be nitpicky on that, to be honest. And throughout the scene, there was supposed to be frickin' thunder. There was no frickin' thunder throughout this fucking scene, and it pissed me the fuck off. I'm sorry I'm cursing a lot, but yeah. And then, finally, we have Chibiusa possessed, and it looks awesome. And I kept thinking to myself, where was this at the end of the last episode? That was what was supposed to happen. Like, I didn't understand that crap. And there's others, and the thing that bothers me with this anime is there's other shit, like other bullshit that they added that they could totally cut out and put this necessary stuff in there. Like, it drives me nuts. But anyway, let's see. And then they screw up. Like, I get really annoyed because, as I mentioned before, this anime is very bipolar when it comes to inner monologues. But this episode, I gotta say, for the most part, the inner monologues were there. The only ones that weren't really there, and it kind of bothered me, was Hotaru's. A good chunk and Pharaoh 90s as well. But Hotaru's monologues were cut so short. It was pissing me off. Like this one, for example. She says, where is it? She says this, I have to hold this in. I can't allow her to power up any longer. I won't allow her to unleash all her power. The power of the silver crystal can't be allowed to be used for extermination. Like, it was just like cut off to like, I can't let her do this. I don't do this. I can't. I don't do this. I was like, what the fuck? Like, come on. Seriously. Okay, I know this shouldn't piss me off, and I know I shouldn't be complaining about word changes too much, because, yeah, if I was getting nitpicky about word changes, I would probably be complaining about the entire episode word for word, because there was lots of word changes. But the manga was a lot better for Mistress 9. She said this, there's someone within me trying to control me, someone within my body trying to escape. I have to hang on a little longer. Master Pharaoh 90, once I complete utilization, I won't have to put up with such a terrible, weak vessel any longer. Soon I can discard the shell of a body, and I'll be ruler of the world. In the anime, she says I will bite and tear this vessel. I was like, what the crap? She did not say that in the manga. Like, oh. And then we get to the Chibiusa. Oh my god, I gotta say, the Chibiusa scenes, for the most part, especially when she's meeting with Hotaru and going through her little spiel, going through their little adventure, that was it was almost so perfect. Like, the animation was beautiful, the music was beautiful, the script was almost there. Like, first of all, someone is chasing Chibiusa. She doesn't say someone's approaching her. She says someone's chasing her and she's scared. But whatever. And this kind of frustrated me in the most of the that whole scene and interaction with Chibiusa and Hotaru was so perfect. Like, yeah, there was word changes here and there, and but it didn't bother me too much. But this bothered me right here. She says, "That's right, it's part of you, synced with your heart and mind." The anime only had the part about the heart. Why didn't you mention about the mind? Like, oh God, that pissed me off. And then she also says, and this is where a word change will piss me off. It says that it's that she said that the silver crystal protects Hotaru's heart. Like, and she said something completely different in the anime. I was like, what the fuck? Really? It protects her heart, not this other bullshit. And then I gotta say this. So I guess Toei and Viz decided that this season Neo Queen Serenity was just gonna have blonde hair and not silver. But then you have to think of the theory, maybe she only has silver hair when she's powered up and blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, but that's a little bullshit because in season 2, they had her with silver hair all the time, even when Crystal Tokyo wasn't in distress. But unless, the only other thing I could think of is that when Neo Queen Serenity gave the silver crystal to Chibiusa, that's when her hair became blonde, because the only reason why her hair was silver was because she fully embraced the silver crystal. That's just the theory. I'm curious what you nerdigans think about that. And I loved in the scene, hold on, before I get to the good part of the scene, the last time I checked, the Deathbusters did not want to destroy the silver crystal. Why did you have Hotaru say that she's not going to let them destroy it when they didn't say they were going to destroy it? They were just going to utilize it. But whatever. Okay, I love the rainbow that shows up with Chibiusa and Hotaru. I forgot if it was in the manga or not, because I didn't put it in my notes. But I love that rainbow that just shows up when Hotaru, it's at the end of the scene when Hotaru's with Chibiusa, and it was so sweet. I loved it. It was so sweet. And then, okay, I have to ask this. I want to know what you nerdigans think. Do you think that Toei was just too lazy to animate Chibiusa convulsing? Because in the manga, Mamoru says that, wait, where was it? Because it says in the manga, like, after the whole scene with Hotaru, that Mamoru says that Chibiusa stopped convulsing. So, yeah. And now we're going to get to the lines that are skipped, and it frustrates me, or are changed. So, and something that bothers me is this, and I've said this before, this anime just takes itself way too seriously, because the manga is a mixture of comedy and action, and there's some seriousness in it. It's not just all action. It's not like Attack on Titan has some comedy, but not that much. Attack on Titan, I'm almost caught up with that. Attack on Titan is fucked up. Oh my god. But anyway, it's kind of like Bleach in a way. Bleach has its comedic moments and it has its serious moments. Sailor Moon manga has a lot of comedic moments and it does have its serious moments. But what's bothering me with this anime, with Sailor Moon Crystal, is that it's like sucked the life out of all the comedy. Like, all the comedy, except for a few scenes here and there, is gone. And it just drives me nuts. So, this is where the lines are skipped. So, Jupiter says, "Where the hell are we?" And Saturn says, "I'm glad the students aren't here for this." And then Venus says, "Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anyone here." No, I think it was Jupiter that says, "I'm glad the students aren't here for this." Yeah, that's right. And then Venus says, "Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anyone here at all. Could it be we are still inside the labyrinth?" Okay. So I'm going to get to Super Sailor Moon's monologue that they moved. They moved this monologue to when they were in the elevator, which bothered the hell out of me because she has a monologue in the elevator as well, in her monologue. But the thing is, when Sailor Moon says this particular Super Sailor Moon says this particular monologue, she's looking out the fucking window, and it's this one. They're like ruins where dark monsters lurk. There are and then she says out loud, there are so many buildings under construction you could see the Delta and Tokyo Bay from here. Mo, she was looking out the fucking window! Why did you put this in the elevator scene? Oh, that didn't make sense. That image of ruins, I don't think that's a vision of the future at all. I want to defeat the Deathbusters as quickly as possible. I want to feel at ease again, and I want everything to go back to being peaceful. But unless we hurry and find Hotaru, Chibiusa's soul and her silver crystal will be unsalvageable. Okay. They had the outer Sailor Scouts say, because when I think it was just the flashback, I think that in the anime, so okay, it will get a pass. But it says, because when Sailor Saturn awakens, the world will end. But the only reason why, in my opinion, it doesn't get a full pass is because in the manga it says, and there will be no return to world peace. Why? Why did you cut that out? Why did you move this to the elevator scene? Like, what the fuck? And you cut the comedy out of the elevator scene. Oh my god. And then another line that was cut out. Originally I thought Mercury's lines were cut out. I guess they're making up for last episode, because I forgot to mention there was when Mercury was trapped in the supercomputer, there were lines cut out from that too. So I guess they're making up for that by actually, keeping her lines. But Mars's lines got cut out because she says a lot of powerful energy has been gathering in the Infinity District, or the Mugen District, as the anime fucking calls it, and the power has an influence over this area. It's becoming more and more chaotic. Why the hell would you not have that in there? Wouldn't you want to know that the area is becoming more chaotic? And then Neptune says, we'll be at, like, when they're going into the basement, she says, before they go into the basement, the first part of Neptune's dialogue for that is fine. It was fine. They cut out, we'll be able to encounter some diamonds. And I'm fine, you know what I was fine with? There's lines that I'm fine with adding. Like, I'm fine with Venus saying, we'll leave Sailor Moon to you. I'm fine with that. That's fine. Okay, now this is where I have mixed feelings about. I'm very mixed. And they show how Kaori became a Magnus, excuse me, and how she got the power from Pharaoh 90 and all that crap. But at the same time, I was thinking, like, this isn't Kaori's time. This is Dr. Tomoe's time. Why the fuck are you showing this? The only other thing that I thought was cool about that scene in particular, or about that whole thing in particular, was I liked that they showed the egg with Mistress 9 in it. I thought that was kind of cool. They didn't have that in the manga, but whatever. But, like, that kind of stuff was fine, but what I wish they would have done is still had Dr. Tomoe's, like, voice over for the most part. Like, the Kaori lines could have been cut out. Like, we didn't need the Kaori lines. We could have had the Pharaoh 90 lines, and I would have been fine with that, and then we had Dr. Tomoe just keep going. But this is what the stuff that was totally got fucked up. They said they descended upon us, carrying eggs from another world with them. I was chosen by God himself. I made a mistake in Hotaru's reconstruction. There was barely shit mentioned about Hotaru's reconstruction, because the only reason he was doing this shit in the first place and messing with the genetics was for Hotaru. Like, to heal Hotaru's injuries from the fire. So I was just like, why are you cutting this out? Let's see. But I found use for the eggs. The eggs they brought. I took the chance. I had to create a soul. That was not mentioned in the anime either. Like, if you're going to mention that Dr. Tomoe is playing God, why are you not mentioning the soul? Why? And then he said this, I produced lovely superhumans, and AKA, those were the Witches 5. You didn't have to say people with perfect bodies. You could just say lovely superhumans, but that's okay. And then I created my beloved diamonds. I won't create any failures for the Deathbusters. The experiments I do for you. But yeah, it just really bothered me that like, a lot of this crap was for a lot of the twisted shit that Dr. Tomoe did was for Hotaru, and it didn't get mentioned, and it's like, ugh. Okay, now we're getting to the elevator scene, and this is where there was some comedy, and it kind of bothered me that they didn't have it. So, like, Super Sailor Moon was not scared at this point of the scene. She was just, like, it was later she felt scared. She said, she was nauseous, and she was saying, I feel nauseated. And then Pluto says, are you all right, Sailor Moon? And this is where I thought I liked the comedy from Uranus here. Because Uranus is so funny. And, like, I hate that they make Uranus too serious in this anime. Because Uranus is, I guess even Super Sailor Moon isn't immune to the effects of gravity on a basement floor. I was laughing. I was just like, wow, Uranus, you're awesome. In the manga, Uranus is funny as hell. Like, in the anime, like, I will even say, in the 90s anime, she was way too serious. In this anime, except for that one scene she had about the money and shit, she hasn't been funny at all. Like, she's supposed to be funny. Or whatever. And, okay, now I'm getting to the monologue. So, something I wish the anime would have used, because Sailor Moon said abyss, Super Sailor Moon said abyss, that she was feeling that she was going into abyss, descending deeper and deeper into abyss. In the anime, or not the anime, in the manga, she says that she's descending deeper into hell. I would have liked that more than the abyss, because it really is going into hell. And then Neptune said, like, they cut Neptune's line because, you know, Super Sailor Moon's concerned about the other scouts, and Neptune says, would you rather be with them? I'm sure they're fine. It's like, come on, man, she just says I'm fine. She says they're fine. And, you know, I kind of liked I'm kind of iffy on this. I don't know what you thought, but I think it was a little bit funnier in the it was a little bit funnier in the manga. That's why I said they drained the fucking comedy out of this manga and the anime. So in the anime, you know, Super Sailor Moon asks if, you know, the Outers are scared, and Uranus says, I would be lying if I said I wasn't. But in the manga, they don't say anything, and Super Sailor Moon says, never mind, haha, I'm just a little shaken up by everything, I guess. Like, I kind of wish it would have stuck to that. That's why I said, it's sucking the comedy out. Okay, let me get to the Solitude thing, because they didn't do the Solitude line right, and it bothered me. So Uranus says this, don't talk about solitude. Solitude is more infinite, extending into eternity, like the places where we were assigned. And Super Sailor Moon says, tell me, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, what were the places you were stationed like? And, like, they skip all that shit and go straight into what being lonely was like. I was just like, what the fuck? She asked a question! Like, seriously! Anyway, Uranus says in the manga, she didn't really say it in, I think she said it in the anime, but it just didn't sound right. But she said they were very lonely, they were without people, and then Neptune's line was correct. Neptune's line was fine. And then Pluto said, in such an isolated place that no one could come to our rescue. And then Neptune says in the manga, and not Uranus, they had Uranus say this and not fucking Neptune, and it pissed me off. She says in the manga, Neptune says, that's right, the light that they emitted gave us all strength. There was nothing we couldn't accomplish. And then they skip this scene, where they're in the elevator, and this is after, you know, they talk about the light from the Silver Millennium, and, you know, the hope, the light that radiated from Serenity and Queen Serenity and Princess Serenity. But then they're in the elevator, and it's just taking forever. And Uranus says, "This is taking a long time," and Neptune says, "Too long." And then Pluto says, "I'm worried about those 4." Like, the inner scouts are, like, totally forgotten in the anime compared to the manga, where they're really not forgotten. And no, what it does, it goes straight into the Hollywood Tower of Terror. If you have not been on the Hollywood Tower of Terror at either Disney World or Disneyland's California Adventure, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. And this is from the monologue that was skipped, because more Super Sailor Moon monologue was skipped. She says, everyone, where are you? It's so dark, I feel real uneasy. We shouldn't have split up. Why did you not have that? Why did you not have that anime? And then, but I gotta say, again, I'm gonna say this, because I gotta say positive shit, because I do love this, like, I really want to love this anime, because I love the voice acting, for the most part, because I'm watching in subs. I love the freaking music. The music is so good, but the music in Sailor Moon Crystal is always good. And then the thing is that the animation, I've been saying it every freaking review. Toei has stepped up their game on this. I don't know if Viz gave them a kick in the ass and just said, look, Toei, we're not tolerating this bullshit anymore. Because Viz also produced, was part of Hunter x Hunter 2011. I think they said, basically told Toei, look, Toei, you see what Madhouse did with Hunter x Hunter 2011? If you don't do this shit, we're going to go find somebody else. I swear. Like the animation, and this is what I want from my anime, where the music is beautiful, the fight scenes are incredible with it because the animation is so good. Like the artwork is consistent with the panels, and that's what I want, and it looks better than the panels. And that's what I want from my anime, and it just frustrates me when like the words aren't right, and when sometimes the scenes are done incorrectly and it doesn't work and doesn't make sense. But yeah, I do like, man, I gotta say, the attack, like Rainbow Heartache, looks so much better, and it looked really good last episode too. Thank you for fixing that, Toei. And I do like the added lines from Uranus and Pluto here, where they said that your light is the one that guided us. I like that a lot. That there's lines like that where it's fine and it fits the scene. Then there's other bullshit where it's like, why the fuck is this even here? This wasn't in the manga. You're trying to stick to the original source material. Why the fuck are you wasting time that should be added towards Pharaoh 90's monologue or added towards Hotaru's monologue on this bullshit? Like, it, But the attacks look beautiful. I love Chronos Typhoon. I love Submarine Reflection. I hope they have the original English voice actress for Pluto, because I like her more than the subs. And Submarine Reflection's beautiful. And freaking Tomoe's line got fucking butchered. And he says this, she's in the sanctuary now with the light of the Terion crystal. Not a light similar to the Terion crystal, you dumbass writers, at her side. And she's given the silver crystal away. Yeah, you didn't say that in the anime. And she gave it to Master Pharaoh 90, and she's with him now. Didn't say she was with them now. How the fuck are they supposed to know where Mistress 9 is? Like, oh my god, anime. Like, why? And then at this point in the anime, we have Thunder, and that's why I got pissed about not having Thunder in the beginning. It's like, what the fuck, Toei? Were you just lazy and just didn't put Thunder in the beginning, but you put Thunder in now? Like in the manga, it says Thunder. If you're doing a direct adaptation and it says Thunder as a sound effect, put Thunder in the fucking scene. Shit. But I gotta say this, the Tomoe Diamond transformation, oh my god, that animation was so freaking awesome. And the attacks, the Tomoe diamond attacks, or I should say the real name for him, which they didn't say in the anime, which is Germatoid. Germatoid is the name of Tomoe's diamond transformation, by the way. Germatoid's attacks were freaking awesome. The battle scenes were awesome, and I'm glad that Super Sailor Moon knows how to freaking dodge. But anyway, and something that he said that was in the manga that was given to Super Sailor Moon, which I was like, huh? Why was this? What? This didn't make sense. Because Uranus had a line right after that before she attacked. And I was like, ugh, this is the line that was supposed to be said. First of all, he says, I am Germatoid. And then he says, just a few moments ago, I was Hotaru's father, but now I am something much greater. Yes, Sailor Moon did not say that. That was Germatoid. And I gotta say, I love Tomoe / Germatoid's voice actor. I love his evil laugh. It is so perfect. You have to admit the evil laugh is awesome. And then right before Uranus does the space sword blaster, which I'm loving every episode. Like every episode, it gets better and better. I love it. Uranus says he's no longer human. He's a diamond. He's the enemy. She doesn't say it after she attacks. She says it before. And then this really pissed me off too. That like you have Neptune saying, Sailor Moon, use your rod, but Super Sailor Moon used Rainbow Heartache attack after Sailor Uranus got hurt. She was like, oh fuck, I know, she's like, fuck, this asshole hurt my friends, I gotta do something now. I can't be a coward, I gotta attack. So that's why I was kind of mad on how they did it. And this is what I mean by Hotaru's lines getting cut, because Hotaru's goodbye to her father is so sad in the manga. And they didn't have it. They just said, Papa, goodbye, Papa. Like, what the fuck? No, in the manga, this is what she said. She says, Papa, my kind Papa who helped me ever since Mama died. My Papa who did everything for me. But this person hasn't been my Papa. Goodbye, Papa. I was just like, why, anime? Like, you had the tears there. You had the music. It was so, you could have had the lines there. And it would have given me feels, but you didn't. And this is why I said this anime is completely bipolar. You'll do inner monologues for some scenes, but not for others. It's like, what the fuck? And if it was because of time, that's why I said that Kaori night scene with Pharaoh 90 did not make sense. And second of all, there wasn't a blackout. It was lightning that struck Kaori. So yeah, there was that. And seriously, Sailor Moon's inner monologue was gone, like for the most part, it got cut because she says something's coming. Something is crashing through the ceiling. Could it be the other four coming from above? And okay, anime, Pluto doesn't have a garnet ball. She has a garnet orb. Have these people not read the manga? Like, it's a garnet orb, but it looked beautiful. Not gonna lie. But it did look, oh my god, it looked awesome. But anyway, like, you fucked up Venus's lines too. You said it was, like, you were saying, for the inners, they were saying that it was coming from the basement. They didn't say that. They said something's coming from above us, not from the commie damn basement. And then when Sailor Moon's, Super Sailor Moon loses her power, she says this. She says, did the connection of our hearts break? Has something happened to one of the other four soldiers? Other full soldiers. She doesn't say it as a fucking statement, anime. She says it as a question because she can't see the commie damn future. And she doesn't know all the shit for Super Sailor Moon. It's like, God. And then she says there's something inside the building. And, oh my god. The ending, I gotta say, for some reason, Toei and Viz, you want to make the endings, like, perfect to the manga, but you don't do it all right in between. Like, it's hit or miss in between. It's like the beginning, for the most part, is usually pretty good and consistent with the manga. And then, a good chunk of it, it's just, like, hit or miss. And then the ending's, like, perfect. Like, what the fuck, Toei and Viz? Like, why are you doing this to me? But the animation, the creepy-ass music for Mistress 9, I love Mistress 9's music. It is so freaking perfect. And the animation was awesome. I want to know what you nerdigans thought about this episode, especially if you have read the manga or you're like me and reading the manga. If you're anime only, and I read, because I basically gave you the quotes from the manga that were missing. I want to know, did you kind of, like, are you kind of pissed off that the anime did not include this? Like, seriously. And this is going to kind of go back to, because I did a debate yesterday on manga versus anime, and this is, at this point, this is where it gets me to where I'm like, the fight scenes are great. There's some other, if, like, I could get past the dialogue being wrong, I would probably enjoy it more. but like the manga's dialogue is so much better than what you're giving us. I don't know how, if the dub fixes it. I have to watch the dub like in full to see if it fixes the problems. But if it doesn't, like, I'm just gonna be really mad. But anyway, I want to know what you nerdigans thought about this episode. And guess what? Sailor Saturn is coming. I can't wait for Sailor Saturn. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Also, if you love what I'm doing, please go donate to my Patreon, which the link is in the description box below. Also, if you want to see any more shenanigans that I'm causing on the internet, I definitely do. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, because I do cause a lot of them. Anyway, until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye!